Hi everyone, welcome to Discover English School video channel. My name is Maria.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are going to talk about students' life in the United States. So I'm going to ask Sam some questions about the life of a student in the States, and you guys will have a chance to compare students' life in Belarus and students' life in the United States. My first question is, how much does college cost, and do all the students have to pay for their classes?
So it depends if you go to a public or a private university, and if you go in-state or out of state. So in-state, a typical public college costs about $10,000 a year. Mm-hmm. If you go out of state, it could be like $25,000 a year. Mm-hmm. If you go to like a really high-end top schools, it could be like $60,000 a year.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. Like one income of a family with two incomes may be spent to cover the tuition fee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and in this connection, do many students both work and study to cover their tuition fee?
Oh yeah, a lot of them do. So you can get like a job at campus, so you can work in the cafeteria or work in the library, work in the IT department. A lot of kids work and study at the same time.
So is it easy to find a job on the campus then?
Yeah, it's really easy. Yeah, there's usually something anyone can do.
That's great. Good opportunities for the students, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and does everyone go to college? Is it a common trend in the American society to study at college?
No, definitely not everyone goes to college, but we're kind of told you should go to college, so most people expect to go to college, but a lot of people just do some sort of trade skill instead, like a mechanic or a plumber.
Okay, so and what about students' life outside lessons? So is there a lot of partying at college?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things they're actually known for. Again, it depends which college you go to. There's definitely party schools and then non-party schools, but there's a lot of drinking going on at these colleges. It's always a party, whether it's a frat or just someone's personal house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and you have just mentioned frat. So, what is it? And what are frats? And also, there's a word, sororities. So, could you tell us a bit about that as well?
Yeah. So, frats and sororities, they're organizations you can join, and what you do there. Again, they're really known for partying, I would say. So people usually join that to have a lot of social activities and parties.
Mm-hmm. So the full word for the organization is like fraternity, right? Mm-hmm. Fraternity and sorority. So how are they different? What's the difference between them?
The fraternity is just for guys. So the guys join the fraternities and the girls join the sororities. And they're typically 3 Greek letters, so alpha, delta, gamma. I'm not sure what they are.
So, and each student is free to choose which type of a sorority or which type of a fraternity they are going to choose.
Yeah, they can. So I was never in one, but I think, so what you do is you pledge to a fraternity, and there's some sort of process. And I think they can choose if they want you in the fraternity too, so it's not just you pick one. I think it's a both.
Both ways.
Yeah.
So they you apply and then you might be accepted or you might not be accepted, right?
Yeah. There's even rules sometimes at universities where you can't even join your freshman year because the time commitments of your first year of fraternity is so much. You're always doing something and you don't have time to study a lot of the times.
And what do you actually do in the frat?
Well, I was never in one, but your first year, I think you're hosting parties and cleaning up a lot of parties, and then you're doing social work too around the campus too. So you're it's kind of like community service, I think.
I see. So, but is it common? You mentioned that you haven't been a part of a frat, but is it common? Do most students join?
It depends on the university again. So my college wasn't big on frats and sororities, so that's kind of why I never went into one. But other ones, I think it's kind of you're expected to go into one.
So most students do that.
I think so.
Okay. Speaking about the place where students may live, so they can live in dorms or rent an apartment. So which is better? What do most people prefer and why?
There's pros and cons to both. Your first year at college, you're typically required to spend it in a dormitory. So advantage of this is it's close to campus. It's your meals are provided. There's not really any cleaning you have to do, like the showers or the kitchen, dishes. Disadvantages are that there's no privacy. So you'll have a roommate. It's a very small room. It's typically noisy. There's always activity going around. But it gets more pros, like there's a weight room, there's the cafeteria there. After that, people typically get an apartment, and they usually get that maybe with their friends. They get a house or an apartment with their friends. And it's further away from campus, it's typically cheaper, but there's privacy. There's more, I guess, beyond your own kind of.
So it's kind of more expensive than to live in a dorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So that's a kind of surprising thing, because here in Belarus it's quite the opposite. It's much cheaper to live in a dormitory than to rent an apartment.
Okay.
So, but it's not easy to get one. So what about living in dorms? Are you free to kind of apply for a room and anyway you're going to be placed there, or there are some restrictions and you might not get a room in the dorm? So is there anything like that?
Well, at my university there wasn't, because you were required to be in a dorm.
Okay. So it's expected, kind of, for a student. And for how many years is it kind of expected for a student to live in a dorm? Just for the first year, or for a couple of first years?
Some people do it all 4 years. Some people, it depends again. So some people, I think 2 is a typical number. 2 years in the dorm and 2 years in an apartment. But some people really like the dorm and they spend all 4 years in the dorm.
Okay. So, and from your experience, what is better? What did you prefer?
I preferred the apartment. I like the privacy. Just having a roommate with you, it was just it was really uncomfortable at times, because they had different habits and you had different habits, and it doesn't mix together well sometimes.
Okay. So, and speaking about the subjects, can you choose which classes you take at the university? Is it possible to choose a course or do a course and then pick another course, or there is a certain kind of curriculum that you have to follow when you choose a certain profession?
Yeah, so you pick your profession, and then there's these core classes you have to take. So to be an engineer, you have to take physics, math, whatever. But then there's also classes called electives, and you're free to choose anything you want, so psychology or business or...
Yeah, among the selectives, right? So there is a part that is compulsory, yes, for each profession, and then you can't choose, basically.
No,
so you just have to do the subjects. And there is another kind of set of subjects which are selectives, yes, and then you're free to choose.
Yeah, it's usually 1 or 2 a semester. But then the other, I don't know, around 6 or 7 classes, you have to take them from their list of requirements.
Okay. Do students often drop out of college, or does it ever happen that students are expelled?
Yeah, absolutely. So the freshman year, there's typically, they call it like a weed out class. So it's usually for us it was chemistry. So people that go to the college, they're typically a little bit smarter than their high school students. So they're not used to studying and working. They're just used to kind of going through the classes really easily. So when you get to college, it's a lot harder. You have to study to take the classes, and they don't make that transition. So then they end up failing the classes and dropping out. And people do get expelled too, so cheating, like you cannot cheat on a test.
So you can be expelled for cheating.
Yeah, they take that pretty seriously in the US, so yeah.
But do people still do it? They know that they can be expelled from the university or from college, but they still...
I'm sure they do, yes.
Okay. And are there any most popular professions that are kind of trendy in the American society now that many students want to be when they graduate?
Well, yeah, I mean, doctors is probably the most highly
kind of prestigious.
Yeah, and then it's usually doctors, engineers, programmers. I'd say those are the top three.
Okay. So I think I've asked most of the questions. Is there anything that you think would be good to know about students' life in the US? Anything else? Maybe another small detail or something?
Not off the top of my head. It's a lot of fun to go to college. It's a good time. So if you have the opportunity, I would definitely do it and just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. So you enjoyed your student life?
Yeah. I wish I could go back there actually.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for watching us and subscribe to our channel. And see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.